Hey guys, welcome back. This is Chosen Arctic. Today we are going to be setting up everything we need to go into space with the Galacticraft. So, I hope you guys are ready. Today, we're going to dive into Galacticraft. And as you can see, I went ahead and placed up my doors, and I created an extra room down here, and all this fun stuff. And we're going to be able to use this. So this room down here is going to become our Galacticraft room. For right now. This is where we're going to have most of our Galacticraft machines laid out, and we're going to get them going. Since we have flight, we can just, fly right out of the hole. I really like that. The only thing that I'm missing is I probably should get a crafting terminal just down here. I think having a crafting terminal in the wall will make our lives a lot easier. And moving that into this is not going to be too difficult. You literally just run some cabling, like straight up from our current cabling situation, and just place it down in the wall. So I'll definitely be able to get that done. But yeah, we need to get into some Galacticraft. And to do that, I have a few goals in mind. I have a few things a few machines that we definitely need to make right away and get those processing. First of all, I think we should get the refinery up. Having a refinery going is definitely going to be needed. And we're also going to need a compressor and eventually moving into an electric one and a circuit fabricator. All those things are very important, especially right away. Also, an oxygen collector is something we're eventually going to be needing as well. So the refinery is going to refine oil. It's going to create the the fuel that we're going to need in order to power our first rocket that's going to take us into space. And then eventually we're going to need a NASA workbench. That's how we're going to build the rocket. We're also going to need some rocket launch pads. That's how we're going to launch the rocket, and also how we hook up our fuel loaders and things like that. So a fuel loader right here. And yeah, that's how we're going to inevitably go to space. So today we're going to do all the setup and prep work in order to get there. And we'll see where that gets us. So in order to get some fuel, right? I have a builder here. And we need to grab some oil. We don't currently have oil yet. So to do that, we're going to head over here because I did see that there was some oil over here. Look at this. There's this nice patch of oil, which is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and set the builder up right here. Why not? I'm going to also hook some energy to it, just right here. I don't have a lever just yet. You know what? I probably should just make a lever, or see if we have one. Perfect, we do have one. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and select this area. So this is actually gonna be pretty simple, and I don't want to grab any water. That's something that I don't want to do. So I'm gonna shift right click here, and then I'm gonna select my corners. Let's go ahead and try to line this up right here, and then we're gonna go over from where that mark is, and then we're gonna slide on over here. And we're going to select this area right here. Why not? Hey, there's a little mousey right there. And then we're also going to need to expand this out. So right now, this isn't very deep. It's, four blocks deep, right? Let's go ahead and make this 15 blocks deep. And then we'll make this, go down 5. Just to kind of offset it a little bit. And then we'll show where this is actually picking up. Make sure it's not connected to water. I really don't want it picking up any water. I just want it mainly just sucking up most of this oil in this area. Okay, so now that we got that done, we can place our portable tank. I've upgraded it to tier 2, so it should hold quite a few buckets of fluid. Slap this on here. It should have some power, right? Set this to output. Now it's going to fill up. We can remove this and set this to infinitely run. And turn it on. Cannot find liquid. No usable tank above or below. That should function unless this is just not recognizing that as a fluid. Maybe it just hasn't gotten there yet. I should totally recognize this as a fluid. Yeah, and eventually it should throw it up there. You know what? Or we could. I know Ender IO tanks definitely work. What we could do is use some Ender IO tanks and then use that as a buffer. I don't know. Let's take a look at tanks. If it's saying that that doesn't work, I'm pretty sure I've used that in the past before, and it did work as a tank. You know, the problems you run into, right? All right, it says place liquids. Wait a minute. This is a placing liquids card. That's not what I need. All right. That is wrong. So you guys are probably laughing at me right now. You're like, it's a placing liquid card. It's not even the right card. So yeah, I'm going to need a collector card. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, which probably means I have to go recollect all the fluids that I just got. So, shape card. This is the one we needed. Right? Was this one. Wonder why it ended up making, why did it ended up making this one? It used iron. I must have misclicked when I was making this thing. Okay, so we're gonna need some lava. Get a bucket. Couple buckets. We're actually gonna need to make a few more buckets. I don't know if I have any lava stored. Yeah, there's no lava stored. So I'm gonna have to go collect some lava, and I'll be back after I get this party started. So with this fixed, in the proper card in my hand, I should probably go ahead and actually take the other card back. Right? Okay. And what we want to do is just copy all of this. So this is 47, 15, 46. So 47, 15, 46. Let's see if I can remember numbers today. 7, -5, -23. So 7, -5, -23. Okay, so we should be able to place this back into the card. Because remember, the offset is relative to the builder itself. And here we go. So this is the proper card. And the proper tank is on here. Let's put this back, pull. And now we'll pump. Okay, so there we go. And now we're building up 180 buckets worth of oil. And as you can see, it already filled that spot. It's going to be checking the other ones and eventually filling this whole area. It does have to scan these chunks, and so that's where it can obviously lead to some issues. There we go, as you can see. And as long as I assume as long as this liquid is the one that's in the tank above, it's the only type of liquid it's going to try to pump up. Similar to like if you were to use a conduit or whatever, it's not going to try and pull two liquids at once, right? So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit till it fills up, and then we're gonna take this and we're gonna start refining this into some fuel. So one of the first machines we need to make is called the circuit fabricator, and we need this to make a compressor. Now, aluminum, you might find that maybe you don't have it. That's because you can only find it in the deep dark or the beneath dimension. I keep calling it deep dark, but the beneath. And you're gonna find it like above Y level 20. I think it says it on its ore variant. Not the Galacticraft one, but this one. It'll tell you it's Y level 40 and 75. So that's where you're going to find it, in between those levels in the beneath. And so I went ahead and grabbed some because I actually didn't have any, surprisingly. Because I never realized I needed to farm it. And so let's go ahead and make this. I have it now and I've processed it up. And making this is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. This machine doesn't really require too much. A redstone torch and a lever, like that's a pretty cheap machine to get started. Now it does require a few things to use. If we take a look at what it can do, you can see it's going to require silicon, and it's going to require some redstone and things like that in order to make certain wafers. This is how you're going to make the wafers that are required for certain things. And we need to focus on getting to an electric compressor. Before then, we need a normal compressor, which is going to require a basic wafer, which is some silicone and redstone torch, and a diamond. And that's going to get us the wafer. So let's go ahead and head down. I think I have, let's see, how much of this do I have? I have a little bit of it. Redstone, diamond. We have a few of those. And redstone torches. I have one. Can always make more, though. So, actually I have a few more. So let's go ahead and take these and let's set this machine up. Now I have some cabling and stuff that I want to run, but I think I'm going to have these machines setting down here, and we can go ahead and set this machine up first, just like that. Grab myself an axe, because we're going to need to set up some cabling down here. All right, so for everything to run down here, I'm just going to use some cabling on the bottom, and it's going to be connected to our power cell. Set this to output. These are already linked, by the way. And then I'll just use conduit for the rest of this and get our machines kind of sticking out. That way, if we do need to automate something, we can kind of move things around if need be. All right, so this is our first machine. Right now it's saying no power. I'm wondering if that's because this is going to require a specific power from itself. Does this not receive power from anything else? Is it not Forge compatible? It is. Okay, so this actually needs to be dropped down. Interesting. It's not taking power directly from... Okay, that's an interesting concept. Okay, so I'm going to actually place it right here so we can monitor this. We can kind of see our power. I kind of like that better. And then we can just hook this here. So it is Forge compatible, which is really nice. So we don't have to worry about it too much. So we just hook it up to a conduit. If you're having problems getting it to power directly from here, as you just seen, it doesn't work. So we got the power going in there. Looks like it's filling up. I may have a slow buffer to fill up. I see the maximum energy input, but this should be outputting what this max is, which is 5,000 RF per tick. So unless this no, it's actually going down. That has me wondering if it only receives power from this side. It does. It only receives power from that side. That is very interesting. Okay. So let's just hook this up then, because it's only receiving power from that side. We're going to have to figure out how these Galacticraft machines work. But anyways, with that being set up like that, let's go ahead and get ourselves a compressor, because that is probably the most important part right now. And then that's going to go ahead and start working, as you can see. And that's going to get us the wafer that we need for our fabricator, or not our fabricator, sorry, our compressor. And as you can see, this compressor just requires that basic wafer, some copper and some aluminum and an anvil. And then we are going to work towards this. Now, this is going to require us to use the compressor, but once we get it, having the electric compressor is going to be way more beneficial than just using our standard compressor, which is going to be really slow. And this is going to require advanced. So we need to use a redstone repeater with the same recipe for this. So we can actually go ahead and get that set up. And while we're up there building those machines and getting those recipes pulled out, I'm going to go ahead and get the crafting grid placed down here. So that way we have, a way to just craft. We don't have to keep coming back up over and over again. Now, a lot of steel is actually going to be needed for our future crafting. And luckily, we have this unlocked in our warehouse. And we can just make steel ingots as simple as this. So this makes life a lot easier. Because we have access to a coal dimension and we have so much iron, we might as well do it like this. If we go down here, I have the compressor down. As you can see, this one uses fuel, which is not the most efficient thing in the world, but we're going to split this right here, and we need to start compressing some of the steel down. And if we take a look at our electric compressor, we're going to see this is going to require a few plates and some tin in order to get this upgraded, or compressed bronze, but I'm going to just throw my compressor in there because we already have one made. And then our refinery, we need 2 compressed steel plates for this, and we just need some regular stone and a furnace, and we need to get this refinery up and running as soon as we can. So the refinery is going to be our first thing here to go after, and these are pretty simple. Containers, and voila, we have a refinery. Now, I don't know where the power is wanting to go on this machine. It looks like the top, potentially, because it doesn't seem like the power is able to go anywhere else. So we can go ahead and throw some conduits on the top, I guess, and hook that in. Right, so once we have this set up, I kind of moved it away because I realized that this is an output and this is an input, and we need somewhere to put our stuff. Put our fuel, especially. And we need some kind of tank. I think I'm going to use a, Ender Bio tank just to put the fluid in, and a conduit, a pressurized conduit on this side, just to hook into the portable tank here. So if we have the portable tank, we can specify where we want this to go. And then this, it's just an easy block for me to move in and out. And I can set this to pull, and it's just going to be able to pull the liquid out. Now I do need my Yeti wrench. This thing is absolutely amazing. So of course you hold down Shift, and if you just right click, or sorry, left click, you can gain access to any of the sides. And so I want to set this to extract always active. And then make sure this is set to insert. And that should start allowing, this to fill with oil. And it's going to automatically start refining. And as you can see, it's already filling up this tank. And this is being filled up with fuel that we're going to need. All right, so this has been working for a while. We have our advanced wafer. We have pretty much everything we need over here. I thought I just put tin. Yeah, we have compressed tin. Let's just make sure that this is everything we need to make this electric compressor. I think it is. We just need our compressor here. Let's go ahead and grab this. And then our regular compressor, and voila, we have an electric one. So this is definitely going to help out. And hopefully this, it looks like it's powered from the left side again. So weird that these are powered the way they are, but that's okay. Eventually we can facade these things and wouldn't even really matter. We would just see the floor and like a conduit coming out, which would look kind of cool. All right, so how much, is this any faster? I mean, it may not be much faster, but it definitely doesn't require us to have coal and keep a constant eye on our coal. So that's a good thing. So with all this processing, right, we also need to kind of start focusing on what it's going to take to actually build a rocket, and what it's going to take to build a NASA workbench, which that's pretty cheap. We just actually made that thing. So making this is going to require a few things. It's going to require a nose cone, right? Which is going to require a lot of heavy duty plates. And this is where we might want to start looking into making 3 electric compressors. Because all of these just add up. So we need to compress bronze, we need to compress aluminum, and we need to compress steel. So it might mean I need to go and find some more aluminum, because I really only brought back with me 2 stacks of aluminum, which equates to 4 stacks of ingots. So, I mean, we might run out of that before we run out of anything else. And then we also need to make bronze. And of course, if you don't know how to make bronze, go ahead and look here. Just regular tin and copper. So a lot of copper is required for this. So I think I'm going to sit down. I'm going to make, I basically just need some repeaters for all of this. Actually, we have 3 worth of vanilla wafers, I think, or not vanilla wafers. Let's see, wafers. We have 2 more. So that means we can make 2 more compressors. And with the 2 more compressors, that'll equal 3 compressors total. And then we just need to convert them all into their form. So really, I need 3 advanced wafers made, 2 for more compressors, and then 1 for our NASA workbench. And that should be just about everything to kind of get just everything processing, which is that's gonna take the longest amount of time. While we're waiting for things to process up, you kind of see we have this tab up here. This is related to Galacticraft in itself, and the things that we can wear on our body. So one of the really important things that we probably need to have on us is an oxygen mask. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? Having an oxygen mask just, makes way too much sense. Let's get some glass, and we'll go ahead and voila. Make this. So that's one part of our wonderful gear that we're going to need. If you look on here, you also see we have a parachute, and there's a few other odd and end things. So let's go in here and just see if we can't find those. These are containers that are for your oxygen. I believe one is a jetpack. Let's see, pack. I don't know if it shows up on here. Let's see if we can't find the parachute. So the parachutes are down here. Also, there's an emergency kit. Like if you see some of these things, let's see if we can't make a parachute. That might be useful, right? So a parachute is going to be some canvas, 1, 2, 3 of those, and some string, and we have ourselves a parachute, right? Let's see, what other things should we have on us? I think this is like some kind of radar. There's an inventory bag. I don't think that's related to what needs to be on our back. This right here is the oxygen gear. So this is what we need in order to produce oxygen. I still need to make some tin. I'm currently working on that. So that is something we definitely need to add to the list. So oxygen gear, I'm assuming that's how we are going to receive oxygen into our body. And then this is like a satellite, which is this thing right here. Frequency module can receive weak sound waves and distant signals. I think this helps us hear a little bit better, because, you know, having a suit on, you won't be able to hear that well. And that's pretty much it. The thing that goes on the top of our head, that might be something that is important. We also have sensor glasses, a few other things like that. I'm not quite sure. I think this is the emergency. I was going to say it might be the space emergency kit, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I'm not quite sure what the thing on the top is actually going to be. It should be around this whole area, but it's currently not. I think I found it. I think it's the shield controller. If I do remember, you can have a shield on you. That is something that is really cool as well. Also, we can have gear. Like, we can wear armor. So this armor is going to be something that we get, I believe, later on. Of course, we have our normal armor that is on us, but there is a separate armor slot, you can see right here, that is going to involve this particular armor, which I believe we get this ore and stuff from the planets that we're going to be visiting later on. So I'm going to let this continue to run. These are about done. Then I'm going to throw some tin in, and then I'm also going to use this to compress down all of the other all the other stuff into the heavy duty plates that we're going to need, because we're going to need a few of these things. Yeah, and we're also going to need a lot of tin that's compressed as well. So luckily these are pretty fast, and we can get all of that done pretty quick now. So pretty much everything here is done, except for I need to place down an oxygen collector. So I'm going to place this so it's hooked up. Ooh, there's nice little particle effects from oxygen being collected in here. Now, I don't know, but can this be right-clicked on here? Is there any way to store this? Okay. So I don't think there is. Can it be stored in a tank of any kind? Like this? Can I pull? Is it going to act like a liquid? Oh, it does. Okay, nice. So that means I can put potentially... Oh, no, you can't. Oh, and it's storing from the top. I was thinking maybe you could put like a tank in here and collect it, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, so if this is collecting it like that, then how do I get it into this storage here? So I don't really know, other than potentially making the oxygen storage module. Used to store large amounts of oxygen for later use. Okay, oxygen collector, compressor. Oxygen compressor will load oxygen from an internal storage into an oxygen tank. Okay, so this is actually what we need to make in order to get this going. So the compressor is actually what we need. So now bronze is something that I ran out of. So I'll just go ahead and take a couple of these. Throw that in there, and yeah, that gets us pretty much everything we need. I've basically just, you know, gathered all the things that we're going to need, so I ended up making 2 heavy tanks, and we're going to need those later. Let's go ahead and make this thing now. So oxygen compressor, right? Yeah, puts it into an internal storage. Okay, so we're missing aluminum. A couple more things that we can get, and store it up. What is this? Oh, we have some. Perfect. So we had some laying around. Okay. And this, I think, will get everything stored up. All right. Maybe we could place this here. And can we use this? How do we get the oxygen in here? Right? So oxygen slot, place oxygen container here. There's no valid oxygen tank. I don't actually know where this gets stored. Oh, maybe it's the front. So like if we had a, let's see, conduit maybe we are able to route this to here. Always active. And that's insert. Ah, it works. Okay. So yeah, we just route it like that. And this, I guess, we could just maybe store it for later. We get a little extra oxygen there. And then we can put these tanks in here. Ah, there we go. So this is going to probably take a while, I would assume. Yeah, both of these tanks are going to be stored. And all of this stuff can be put on us. Now, let's go ahead and go into normal mode. We can take off our armor here. As you can see, with this on, we kind of have that on our face. I don't know if it puts anything else on us while this is on. Doesn't seem like it. Parachute, frequency module, that adds something. As you can see, it puts a little satellite disc on our head. Now, I was looking at the shield controller. You can't actually craft it, so I don't know if it's something you gain later on or how that's actually going to function. I don't really know. But it says right here, it's basically controls your shield. We don't really have one right now, so we're at the mercy of, I guess, wearing our armor and hoping that this all functions. You know, at least on our head, at least the glass from the oxygen mask actually tracks our head. That's kind of nice. I wonder if we transformed into any of those mobs that's in our list here that have helmets on, if we can also breathe. Like this spider has like a really nice mask system going on. But yeah, okay, so this is full. Then we'll put this one on, and we throw this right here, and now we have oxygen ready to go into space. But we're not 100% completely ready to go into space, of course. We still need to place this thing down. And yeah, this, you know what, I might actually place this in the corner. Kind of large. There we go. Place it in the corner here. This is how we build our rocket. So remember, I was showing you, here's the tier 1 rocket, right? And to build this, we need a nose cone and a few things. Well, today we're going to go ahead and get the rocket built and pretty much get ourselves ready to blast off into space. But I think next episode is when we're actually going to do it. So guys, let's go ahead and get this rocket built. Now that we have all the components ready to go, all we need to do is really just build this thing. So the whole centerpiece is going to be the heavy duty plate, which takes a little bit to get. And then just place your rocket fins, and then your tier 1 rocket engine with a nose cone, and you get a tier 1 rocket. Perfect. Now, we do need to make ourselves a fuel loader. So we do have a fuel loader over here. And I was actually making the copper for this. Seems like every time I turn around, I need a different material that needs to go in the compressor, but luckily it's pretty fast. So fuel loader, voila, ready to go. And this is probably gonna require some power. Luckily we have some power to do so. All right, so let's hop up here. Oh, I forgot, I need to turn back into a blaze. And then we need to figure out where we're gonna launch this thing from. It doesn't really, have to be something crazy. We can launch it right over here. It doesn't really have to be a particular location. This actually might be a pretty decent place. So what you need is rocket launch pads. It does require a little bit, but it gives you everything you need in order to make it. So it is a multi-block here. As you can see, kind of raised up. And then we need to apply the fuel loader. I'm going to place this so I can see where the thing goes. Okay, so this side is where I guess the fuel will be deposited, right? Or maybe I need to connect it just normally. I thought it was like this. And then if the rocket's on here, maybe I need to place this here. And I think that should fill up our machine. Let's place down a power cell. Oh yeah, I forgot these things don't directly connect. So conduit. And place that, and power. Just stone down here. Okay. So that is filling up there. Maybe, you know what, fuel loader, this does need fuel. Fuel tanks can be filled with fuel canisters. Oh. So maybe we can't do this. So where's all this fuel go? I'm pretty sure this is an input, right? Let's try and figure this out. We throw this here. Make sure that this can function. Okay, so there it goes. It starts to fill up and starts loading. Okay, though, but after this is done, does this not load this with fuel? I'm trying to, let's see. Let's go back to Galacticraft. And fuel. We have an electric furnace, arc furnace. This is the fuel loader. Okay, so after being connected to a launch pad, a fuel loader will allow fuel to pass into the connected rocket or other vehicle. Okay, so it does need to be connected. Let's go ahead and break this. And I'll connect this back up. Does it matter where it goes? Did we just waste all that fuel, by the way? I thought this had like a connection animation, but maybe it doesn't. It is hooked to this. And I don't think it has a underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it connected here. Right? I'm gonna hook my power up. And then over here I'm gonna place my tank again. And I'm seeing this also drop. Okay, so this must be working. Okay, how do we get back out? Shift. I don't know how to see our current storage. Inventory and fuel, none. Okay, so we need to go into options, controls, Galacticraft, category, open spaceship. So, okay, open the inventory of the spaceship. We can set this to hopefully any key, multiply key. That should work. Let's open this up. Hit the multiply key. Okay, and we can see it's fully fueled up. Okay, good. And that means we're just about ready to take off. So yeah. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. Next episode, we are going to be going into space and seeing what we can find there. And hopefully we can make our way back, because we should be able to make our way back. We'll have definitely means of getting back. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.